family money, this a triple threat. Really started with nothing, had to manifest. If you don't know your worth, they gon' give you less. Why they envy me? Cause I'm the best. MVP. My legacy is how they remember me. And I know success.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode Triple Threat Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bruce, aka Detroit Mogul.
Vic Gurley, aka MVP Vic. Brian Keys, aka BK609.
Listen, we got a very special guest in the building today. Anytime I call him podcast killer because anytime he get on the podcast, yo, the value and the bombs and the gems that he drops is just amazing. I've learned so much from this guy. Met him last year. Amazing friend. Multi 7-figure businesses. Specifically, one of them is Amazon. Owns real estate, has trucking. Heavily invested in all type of different businesses as well. So I want to wait no further and introduce our guest today, my guy Joshua Chris.
Going on, fellas?
What's going on?
Pleasure to be here.
Bro.
Yo, side note, man, it sounds like you do R&B in the past. So that was
AKA.
Yo, that was smooth. Hey, see how you start caressing the mic?
Hey, that boy hit the quiet storm.
There was no caressing of the mic, man. I was like,
Side note, don't you look like Omar Epps?
Oh, come on, bro. Chill.
Look, we talking about Josh Crisp.
All right, yeah.
Josh,
let's get
what
back
you
to
got
it.
for us, man?
So listen. Question for you, man. And I asked Neil a similar question, but this is different. Who do you want the world to remember who Joshua Crisp is?
Wow, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So, who or for what that I've done? Because that's the bigger thing. You know, when I look at Dynasty, and this is crazy, I always thought that I wanted a dynasty. I always thought that I wanted a legacy, but I really want a dynasty. See, a legacy is what people remember when you're gone, and then the next heirs to your throne, right? So your children. So when you think about legacy and dynasty, a dynasty lasts for multiple centuries. So I just had this conversation with my wife. I was like, wow, I'm always focusing on my kids when I leave. And a lot of us, when we become successful, it's like, yo, I want to set this up for my kids and possibly maybe their kids. Mm-hmm. But I'm reading a book. It's called What Would the Rockefellers Do? And it talks about the Rockefellers and some of the richest people in the world, how they set up these dynasties. So it's multiple centuries. When they talk, the last name is multiple centuries. Mm-hmm. So it's like outside of Amazon and, you know, philanthropist, investor, speaker, outside of all those boring, just random things, I want to be known as the person that really broke generational curses and set up that dynasty. Because think about it, when you think about Rockefeller, when you think about the last name Rockefeller, the Sinclair, or you think about any of the Rothschilds, you think about that one person that created that dynasty.
Right.
You don't think about the whole family, right? When you think about the Vanderbilt family, you think about Cornelius Vanderbilt, right? But the problem is he ain't set those plays together that way. It lasted as long as the Rockefellers. So
gotcha.
That's all I want to do, man, is make sure that not only my kids' kids, but their kids' kids and the entire dynasty is locked in.
Gotcha.
Like that. Okay. So to get to that point, tell us a little about the backstory of your life. How, where were you or who were you prior to becoming who you are now?
Woo. So this a whole nother story here, man. So a fast run going through it. Going back 2013, 2014, I was facing 15 years in prison, CCW, multiple drug charges. Beat that. I got out, and through a mutual friend, I met my wife. We went to school together, didn't know each other, right? Started dating. Like, they showed me the picture, and I was like, wow, who is that? I need to know who that is. Met my wife, started visiting her, right? And that's where I met my first mentor, because her boss owned a small business. I didn't know nothing about entrepreneurship or none of that. All I knew is, yo, this guy sits back, feet on the table, answering the phone, making the calls, making his own money, running his own business. And he wasn't super successful, but I was attracted to that because all I knew was hustling and what I grew up seeing, right? So fast forward, he ended up becoming my mentor. At the time, I was making minimum wage, hand sorting through trash at a recycling plant. Place was called Finitech, right? And I was working through a third-party facilitator who would get you work because you're a felon, no high school education. And long story short, I ended up going into business with my mentor. First year became a millionaire through Amazon. And we actually expanded, had 48 plus employees, and got a little under 50,000 square feet in that building where I worked hand sorting through trash. That company actually went out of business. So
Wow.
that's like a whole, overview of it, but it was crazy.
Wow.
And I say that to say, like, and I'm glad you asked that question, because a lot of people, like Chris, start off, trucks and real estate. Like, we own a fleet of trucks. We got 50 plus apartments. We have a 8-figure education company, like multiple 7-figure e-commerce brands, right? And people see the shine, but they don't see the grind. Like,
Right.
And where you are doesn't determine where you're going to be, right? But you got to understand, like, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Like, so many of us, and this is a key lesson that whoever's listening to this, irregardless of where you are right now, you could take from this is, I remember blaming everybody, blaming my mom, blaming where I came from, blaming the hood, blaming God. Like, yo, what did I do to deserve this type of life? You know what I mean? Like, I got a good mom. Like, I'm a good dude. Mm-hmm. And the thing that's crazy, and everybody can do this practice right now, like, if you take your hand and you point in front of you at anybody, anything, anyone, there's 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 fingers pointing right back at you, because the enemy is in the enemy. And basically, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So, like, that's when my whole life changed, when I realized, like, yo, no one's coming to save me. Right. Like, I can complain all I want, but if I don't do anything about it. So, like, that's the key component. Like, when I met my wife, met my mentor, and here's the thing, I feel that people meet their mentor all the time. Yeah. There's opportunity all around us. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you got to be looking for it. If you ain't looking for it, you ain't going to find it. And when you're looking for it and you find it, what do you do with it? You know what I mean? Like me, I was ready. I was tired of this. I knew what that got me, almost 15. Right. So I was like, yo, what can I do? When I seen that opportunity, I pounced on it.
So I like that, man. See, you already answered the next question before we even answer it. You like, this before we can ask it, my bad. You blew straight through it. I'm like, man, did he get the notes already? Like, so I'm gonna go ahead to the next question. It is, so what year did you start? Period. And what got you into podcasts and Amazon? And I really want to know about Amazon, but what got you into all of this? Like, what year did you start, and how's it going? What's the update on that?
Yeah, so that's I met my wife, met my my mentor through her, which is her boss. At this time, that was 2014.
Okay,
so I was doing this job, literally hand sorting through trash, because basically, if you look at the bottom of anything that's plastic, there's a little triangle with a number. There's no machine that can actually decipher the different plastics. So you got people that can't get a job anywhere else, like me, got to go literally up to their waist in trash, hand sorting through this stuff, right? So that's what I was doing. And on my time off, I come check out my wife, spend some time with her. And I would just pick this dude's brain, like, yo, like, how do you, like, what is this? You work for yourself? This isn't a large company. Mm-hmm. Like, where I came from, I didn't know about entrepreneurships or small business. I thought there was like Coca-Cola. There's these large brands. I didn't know you could own your own brand. So I started keynote number 1, started asking questions, right? Keynote number 2, I started taking action and implementing what I was being told. See, and now I find myself doing this. Like, when you're reaching out to people of success or higher stature, they give you crumbs. And my mentor used to give me crumbs. He used to tell me a little something, tell me a book, tell me something to do. And I would go do it super quick. I mean, with imperfect, immediate action. Right. And that's where a lot of people mess up, is they want things to be perfect. Right. And they fall victim to perfectionism and analysis paralysis. So I just constantly kept taking action. He kept throwing me more breadcrumbs. So between 2014, 2015, I kept just taking action. And that's when I stumbled along my first product. And I told him, I'm like, yo, like, all this stuff's working in my life. Like, I feel better, like, taught me about positivity and mindset and all this other stuff and business fundamentals. Like, yo, how do I get to how do I make some money? I'm still not making no money. Yeah. I was like, how do I do what you do, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously it takes money to make money, right? Like any real business, you need some money to be able to make some money. I was like, yo, like, show me how I could do what you do. Like, how can I make some money? Like, I don't have anything, but if you give me some type of leeway, I won't let you down. So he was a bath and body manufacturer, and he had some stuff sitting around in the back of his warehouse that he couldn't sell, stuff that people messed up. bad fragrances he was testing, just bull crap that was sitting in the back. And he said, you know what, take this stuff and try to sell it online. And I remember like every single day, because he took a lot of the phone calls and he was telling these people who were buying product, don't sell it in the kiosks. Try to go online. Amazon's going to be the wave. Amazon's going to be the wave. Sell it on eBay. Sell it on Etsy. Nobody ever listened to him. Everybody bought the product and they went in the middle of the kiosk. And within 3 to 4 months, they shut down. And I remember asking him like, yo, like, why does everybody keep doing the same thing? And it's because people don't know about selling things online. They only know about traditional business, traditional brick and mortar when it comes to commerce. Right. They don't know about e-commerce. And the reason why people are fearful of doing new things is because they don't know the outcome, right? But what does fear stand for? False evidence appearing real. So we don't want to try things that are new because we don't know the results. Therefore, we know the results. If we keep trying the things that everybody else is doing, we're going to get the results that everybody else is doing. So he also used to tell me like, yo, if you want results that you've never got, you have to do things that you've never done. So it blew up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this stuff. I'm going to put it on Amazon. He tells people to go online, do e-commerce. No one's doing it. Middle of 2014, by the end of 2015, I made my first $1 million. Like not gross, like I mean netted in the bank. And keep in mind, at the time, yo, our apartment's 400 square foot. We got a shower curtain up in the living room. My oldest son, has the 1 bedroom. I'm going to Salvation Army for food, for toys for Christmas. I'm volunteering at the Center Township, literally spray painting sidewalks, pressure washing gum off of sidewalks just to get vouchers to pay my rent, and sitting on an M. 2015.
That's crazy.
Changed my life. That's why
year.
And that's why the AMC Formula, like our slogan is "You're one product away." That cheesy slogan, that one product changed my life.
That's dope, man. That is dope.
That's dope. So collectively now, because obviously you have a lot of different stores, just people watching to get some inspiration to people. How much money would you say you collectively made over the past few years? Just Amazon. Just Amazon.
11.2 million through our brand on Amazon.
Yeesh. And that's since what, 2014, 2015?
Gross, and 2015. So gross, and if you look at it, it's about 30 to 40% profit margin. So you could do the math on like what I made just off that.
And that's one of many, right?
Oh yeah. That's just one source of income too.
I feel like we'd be here all night if we get into it. The IRS is
watching. We got tax hacks, so we're not even gonna talk about all that stuff. Okay, but Amazon specific.
So I got a question for you then. So 2015, right? And so word on the street is you recently got your dream car, Lambo.
Oh yeah.
Big deal.
Right.
So 2015, you sitting on an M. You still living very frugal.
Oh yeah.
So what would you talk about the importance of delayed gratification?
Yo, that's key. When you say frugal, like to paint a very vivid perspective, 2015 towards 2016, my company's doing $350,000-$400,000 a month. I go in, I got a 99 DeVille. You can go on my Instagram and see this. I got a 99 DeVille. Triple pearl white with the white walls with the rag top.
Wait, where you from? Where you from?
I'm from Indiana, right outside Chicago.
Okay.
Right? And it's got 76,000 miles on it. I paid $4,200 for it. I'm making several $100,000 a month. Got an M in the bank. My rent is $650. I live in a townhouse. All my money went into real estate. I started buying real estate. At the time, I didn't know about creative finance, and I just knew I was making a bag. And I knew money wasn't going to make me no money sitting inside of the bank. I just kept buying real estate and buying real estate. But what you're talking about, like delayed gratification, so many people don't get where they're going because they see a glimpse of where they're going and it's lights out. They get the Tyson syndrome.
Yeah.
They start buying the cars, the clothes, the jewelry. Like, I could have bought the Lambo. Like, I bought the Lambo. My wife told me to buy the Lambo. Like, I had made multiple 8 figures by the time I bought the car. So, like, the biggest thing that you could do, the biggest dream killer that you could do is to go try to be someone who you're not or try to spend money to impress other people. or just to spend money just to spend money. And it's hard when you've never had anything. It's real hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like one thing that kept me, because it was tempting, like, yo, I finally got some money. I want to go crazy. One thing that really helped me stay on track is looking at the long-term goal. I always looked at the long-term goal. Because like, and this is something like, and again, irregardless of where you are right now in life, what you've went through is going to help you get where you want to be.
Absolutely.
See, I chased fast money and I almost lost. I would just been getting out of prison because of that fast money. So I knew, nothing fast money. Like from the streets, I knew the loudest in the room is going to be the one that goes to jail the fastest, right?
Right.
So like all the OGs, what regular clothes, regular Dickies are not spending no money. They're stacking the money. They're trying to start businesses. So from my street smarts and everything, I was like, you know what? I'm going to stack all this money. I'm going to invest all this money. And that's what stuck with me to this day. And to this day, I'm still live below my means, you know? So that's a key. That is a big key.
Delayed gratification.
Another, and this is a hack too, because if some of you guys see money and you blow money, yo, I do the $20 trick, man. I would take all the money. I would move all the money. I leave $20 in my wallet, act like I don't have nothing. Just keep hustling. Keep hustling.
I like that.
Yo, for real, I'm going to the gas station getting hot Cheetos. I'm drinking, eating, drinking just like I had nothing, just stacking all the money, going to buy all the real estate. I make more money, go buy more properties, We still own about 80% of our portfolios cash.
Wow.
Just
We're
from
going to tap into that. But I want to get on this Amazon real quick. So why sell on Amazon versus Shopify, Etsy, eBay? Yeah. Why Amazon?
Hey, this is the $1 million question right here. So let me ask you.
Because eBay is a classic. Yo, I used to sell Jordans and shit on eBay.
We all heard that cha-ching a couple of times off of eBay. You know what I mean? So in the last month, have you shopped on Amazon?
Absolutely.
The last month, have you shopped on Amazon?
Yeah.
What about you in the last month?
I get packages at my door every week. Multiple.
So 2/3 of the US, and that's literally 73%, 51% of the globe shops on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why Amazon is where it's at is because, number one, they literally made it a standard for fast quality shipping. Like nobody can touch the prime shipping. Like when you go on Amazon, you're not buying anything if it doesn't have Prime. And when you're shopping online, it hurts that 5-day shipping.
Yeah.
3-day shipping, it hurts. So the reason why I stick with Amazon and the reason why I love Amazon is, number one, that's what everybody loves. Just the numbers don't lie. They're the largest. 51% of all the traffic, all the money in the world is going through Amazon. 2/3 of America, literally, if you walk outside this door right now, your neighbor, both your neighbors, they all shop on Amazon, right? So we've literally got an opportunity to partner with the richest man alive, the largest company. Like before that, it was Walmart. When I grew up, we went to Walmart. I always shopped on Walmart.
Right.
In my personal opinion, the only reason why Walmart's still around is because they haven't found a way to get produce, milk, poultry, meats to you next day. Once they integrate the dry ice and all that, it's a wrap. That's why he bought Whole Foods.
I agree, because there's nothing like going on Amazon and it's like, get it this afternoon if you order by this time. I'm like, how? Most other places, it's going to take this afternoon to process my order. You telling me I can get it?
That's crazy.
I'm telling you.
Let's go.
And then the key, like where you say, like, because everybody's always Shopify. And I sold on Shopify too. So what I did that was unique is my mentor was a manufacturer. So when I started, I got the best of both worlds, right? So not only I sold business to business through wholesale distribution and manufacturing, I sold business to consumer on Amazon. So I got to see both ends of the stick. So wholesale and manufacturing, the margins are thin, right? And I was selling on Shopify. So on Shopify and other e-commerce platforms, you have to control the traffic. So there's traffic you own, traffic you control. So on Shopify, you have to literally control, and all these different e-commerce platforms, you have to control the traffic. It means you have to go on Facebook and buy ads, go on Google, buy ads, run SEO and rank for these products, which is search engine optimization. Well, on Amazon, they own the traffic. So when you guys go on Amazon and try to buy something, you know what you want. You go to Amazon in the search engine up top and type in what you want. and within seconds you buy it.
Yeah.
They actually have a patent for something called one-click sell or one-click purchase, which is the fastest click to purchase on any other e-commerce site. Once your payment info is already saved, you literally just hit that one click and it'll boom to your house in 2 days or less. So with Shopify and these other platforms, you have to find people who are on Facebook trying to mingle with their friends and do all this other stuff. You have to interrupt them with your product, or you have to go on Google through Google Shopping and compete. And now it's like a price scenario, right? On Google Shopping. That's pretty much all you have because you don't see the listing. You don't see none of the reviews. All you see is little blocks of the same product with different prices.
Gotcha. So I know you got, and we're going to talk about this too, the AMC Formula. You teach people Amazon strategies, right? And so explain to the difference between maybe doing like wholesaling from Amazon, maybe the arbitrage model, or even doing a private label.
Got it. So there's 3 main ways you can sell on Amazon. You have private labeling, which is like Shure Mics or Beats by Dre or Apple. These are physical private label products, right? They're physical brands. Then you have wholesaling, right? Wholesaling is when essentially you become a distributor for another brand. So let's say that I went through Beats by Dre, bought a ton below MSRP, minimum suggested retailing pricing, and then I sold them at MSRP and I got the difference as a distributor. That would be wholesaling,
right?
But there's nothing proprietary, right? Then the third is going to be arbitrage. There's online and there's retail. So this is something that you're doing if you have no money and you want to just hustle some money. You're going to TJ Maxx, you're going to JCPenney, you're going to Best Buy. You're buying stuff that's on clearance or sale below MSRP, selling it at MSRP. You're making the spread.
Gotcha.
So retail and online arbitrage is the least sustainable because you can't just keep getting stuff on sale.
Right.
Wholesale is a little bit more sustainable, yet the margins are thin because your only competition is price. So when you get into selling the same product that other people are selling on Amazon, you have a buy box. And the way you win the buy box and get to sell is by having the lowest price.
Right.
So you're racing to the bottom in price. So the margin is thin and there's no intellectual property, which means you can't really sell that business. Now you have private labeling, right? The reason why Beats by Dre and Apple is worth so much because they're actual physical products. They have intellectual property, right? Like if you think about it, Apple sells for 2-3 times more than other electronic companies, right? Samsung, LG. The reason why they're doing that is because the quality, the customer experience, the customer support, the packaging, and the brand, right? The actual brand itself. So that's what I do is we teach people and we show people how to create brands just like Apple and all these large companies. Go directly to the supplier, the manufacturer overseas, have them make the product, ship the product directly to Amazon. Amazon's going to facilitate the product, pick it, pack it, use their resources, and ship it directly to the consumer and even handle the returns.
Wow.
So that's why I was able to scale this. And the other big difference, because I was working hard. I was working 10, 12 hours a day making minimum wage. So when I did this entrepreneur thing, I wanted my freedom.
Right.
I didn't want another job that was just going to pay more. So like every single day, 24/7, 365, our business is working for us without us working for it. With wholesale, you got to have the actual employees. You got to have a location. You got to store the stuff. You got to print the labels. With arbitrage, you have to rather go to the store or go online to the store and try to find these different deals.
Got you. So if I'm a new seller trying to sell a product on Amazon, how do I find a product that's going to be profitable? How do you, like, what's the process like?
Oh, good question.
When you're trying to find out, all right, this product is going to make me money. I'm going to put this on.
He ain't playing. He's trying to find that product. Huh? All right. So, and I'll try to make this quick, man, because we could go real detail with this. A few things that I look for with products is longevity and sustainability. So we want to look for products that are going to sell 24/7, 365 for this year, next year, and many years to come. Right. So a few ways that we do this. One free resource that you guys can use, it's called Google Trends. You go to Google Trends, it's going to do 2 things. Number one, it's going to tell you, is this a trending product or is this a sustainable product? Because it'll show you the timestamp and it'll show you the actual chart on how long this product's been selling. So for the viewers, you can go to Google Trends right now and you can literally type in fidget spinner and you're going to see that it shot up in 2019 and it nosedived, right? A lot of people made a lot of money. A lot of people lost a lot of money. It's not a sustainable product. Now, if you go do the same thing with mouse or keyboard or, candle holder or any of these other products, you're going to see for many years they've been selling every single day. So number one, we want to make sure it's a sustainable product. It's not a seasonal product. Seasonal product can be something like a pumpkin carving kit. It's going to sell in October. Christmas lights only going to sell in November, December, right? So we don't want a seasonal. We don't want something trending that's in season like the fidget spinner. And we don't want something that's patented. So another free resource is Google Patents. You guys can go type in Google Patents and just type in the name of the product. The reason why the fidget spinner died out is because it was patented. The person just didn't have the money to fulfill the actual IP. Once they realized, this thing is blown up, they found that money, right? So that's what happened with that. So you want to make sure that it's not patented. You're not infringing intellectually. And then some other things is you want to make sure that the margins are where they want to be. So 30% margins, you sell it for 20, you want to keep 6. That way you can scale, you can, sustain the growth, you can make some money. And that's pretty much it, man. Like when I got started, and here's the thing, lead by data, not by emotion. When I got started, one of my first failed products failed because I was emotional about the product. I thought the product was going to do good. So don't go off of what you think or what you like. Go off of what the market needs and what the data is showing is going to continue to sell.
Okay. So would you say start with one product or multiple products?
Good question. So, this is a really good question because this is where people start to fall victim to analysis paralysis. What happens is they're like, do I start with one product? How many of the product do I order? What should the product look like? What should I do before I get started? All these different thoughts start racing through their mind. And what happens is they never get started. So first and foremost, what I recommend when you're getting started in this business is find out what your investment tolerance is, what the threshold is. Some people have more money to invest. Some people have less money to invest. Some people have a higher threshold for risk. Some people have a lower threshold for risk. So find out do you have $5K to invest? And do you need this money back tomorrow or you're not going to be able to pay your bills? Or do you have $5K to invest and can you slow roll this thing out and make it back in 90, 100, 200 days, right? So when you identify exactly where you are, you can reverse engineer this business. Okay. The reason why I say this is because this is the $1 million question. Like, how do I find a good product? Like in the AMC Formula, we teach people how to find products that are going to make them $3,000 to $10,000 per month. So the $1 million question is, how do I find this? How do I find this product? Or how do I find a good product? Or what if the product doesn't sell? There is 150 plus million products on Amazon. Wow. And there's not one bad one. Yet people fail with the business. Do you know why they fail with the business? Because number one, they don't have the education to sell on the platform. Number two, they don't have the patience, right, and the resiliency to sell on the platform. Or number three, they launch the product, they dive into the product and they don't have the right resources, right? So any product you find I can sell and make money. The thing is, do you have the money to sustain the inventory? Do you have the money for the advertising? Right. Do you have the tolerance? Like if we go and we're head on head with Colgate and all these other toothpaste companies, yeah, we can compete with them. It's going to take a big bag versus essential oil diffuser cartridges, right? And stuff that's a smaller industry that doesn't have these huge giants competing in it. Yeah. So a majority of the people who come to the AMC Formula that we help and we coach are people that are starting out, typically have $3,000 to $5,000 to invest, right? And they want to find that first product that's going to make $3,000 to $10,000 a month. So we tell them to look for products that have high demand, low competition. So these are going to be your bamboo drawer organizers, right? These are going to be your products that they may not seem like everybody would want them, but they still have enough demand where we're selling 10 plus units a day, right? 10 plus units a day, $10 profit, $2,800 to $3,000 a month.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay. Which brings up, and you kind of answered it a little bit, but I was going to ask you, what's the capital that you need to have to get started? Like, I know you guys offer service also for done for you, which is great. Yep. Somebody could come in passively and start to, have a store up and running. But what type of capital do they need, or can they come in with credit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's a great question, CB. So basically, like for years, we only offered the AMC Formula, right? The #1 Amazon program in the country. For years, we only offered it. And what happened is we were doing a disservice to the community because there's a few different types of people. There are people that want to full blown learn the entire thing and do it themselves. There's people that want to do it themselves, but want that extra level of attention, which is the mentorship, the consulting. And then there's people that are like, yo, me and my wife shop on Amazon religiously. I can't stop buying off of this thing. Like my Amazon stock is increasing. Jeff Bezos is the richest man alive. The business makes sense. I have zero interest to learn this thing. Like I make $100,000 a year. I have a good business. I'm doing too much. I don't want to learn something else. And that's where they come and they make the passive investment where we build everything, we run it and manage it for them. So these are different levels. If you were going to do it yourself for inventory purposes only, I would say around $3,500, right? And from finding the product, launching the product to be up and running to getting your first paycheck, typically around 4 months, give or take. Of course, it can be sooner. Some it can be a little bit longer. Again, there's 150 million plus products. The biggest variable is finding the product, right?
Right.
Of course, if you want to get into consulting with one-on-one help or the done-for-you option, it's going to be more for the services. But all three you still need the same amount for inventory, which is around $3,500. Okay. And with the credit, absolutely, you can use credit. Okay. Once you start selling on Amazon, Amazon actually has a working capital system within its infrastructure. Well, they'll actually just start fronting you money at 0% interest, and they'll just take it off the back end. Because Amazon wants you to sell more stuff because that's how they make money. Right. So a lot of people think that, well, if I find a good product and start selling on Amazon, Amazon's going to see, the all-seeing eye is going to see, and they're going to take my product and make all the money. They're bigger, they have more money. It doesn't make sense. If you took 150 million products and you times it by the $4,000 bare minimum for the inventory, it wouldn't make sense. They'd have no money for their infrastructure. Instead, they make money on the back end on the Amazon Web Services, on the pay-per-click or PPC. Like Facebook's $1 trillion company, right? They're super profitable. Do you know why? Because of the PPC, right? Users don't pay for Facebook, but businesses pay Facebook free money to advertise in front of users. Right. So Amazon makes money off of two things for sellers. Number one, PPC, which you need, which is their advertisement within their ecosystem. And then again, they make a small percentage of every sale that you make. And this is the fulfillment fee. And it's worth it. So it's a win-win situation. They win, you win, we both make money.
Okay. So you get your product, you get it on Amazon. How do you get it to where people see it? So like when you, like say I go on Amazon, I search for bed sheets. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the Amazon choice products that come up. How do I get up there to where when somebody types in that search, my product shows up at the top?
Great question. So there's two different ways that you can do it. There's paid and there's organic. Organic's just a fancy term for basically saying that you rank for that keyword. Mm-hmm. So Amazon is a search engine just like Google, right, but it's an e-commerce based search engine, right? So the way, and here's the thing, with Google, it could take months, even years for you to rank. Mm-hmm. On Amazon, it could take days. So the whole algorithm, the A10 algorithm, which is the up-to-date Amazon algorithm right now, the way the ranking works is it's all off of sales velocity. There's no index keywords. There's no backlinks and all this crazy crap that you got to do for Google. It's basically who's selling the most amount of units. So what we teach, a majority of Amazon sellers are only using that PPC that we talked about, which is Amazon pay-per-click, which, by the way, is nowhere near as complex. And you know about Facebook ads. It's not like Facebook ads. There's no pixels. There's no lookalike audiences. It's keyword based. So you're putting keywords in there and then adjusting the bid, and that's it. Okay. Right. And then boom, it's popping up right in front of customers. But when you start to sell more than the competitors, you start to take their place. So in layman's terms, like if the number one seller, the guy all the way at the top, is selling 100 units per day, if you sell 101 units for a consecutive amount of days, you take his spot, you get all the sales. So like what I teach, like a ninja hack I teach people in the AMC Formula is to go get traffic outside of Amazon for two reasons. Number one, Amazon rewards exterior traffic because they know the LTV of their clients. Like if people come on Amazon and buy your stuff, they're going to be on Amazon buying other stuff. And if they're not Prime members, they're going to be Prime members. And then they might get Alexa, and then they might get a Fire, and then they might sign up for this and sign up for that. So they know the LTV, so they give you brownie points for that, number one. Okay. Number two, if the top sellers are spending X amount per day and only getting X amount of sales, For you to take their spot, you need more sales. Well, you can go elsewhere. And that's where we use influencer marketing. Like one of my most profitable, like ninja ways to not only rank new products, but also make a ton of money is finding people on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, that have audiences in my industry. So if I have a beauty product, I'm going to go find a beauty influencer as an active following. I'm going to pay them, send them some product, have them post it with a coupon, send all the traffic to the page.
Wow. And I could say, listen, that is one of the reasons why my webinar blew up last year, was because this guy, influencer marketing. So what he's talking about definitely works. Absolutely.
It's dope, man. But before we close out, I got one more question for you. We have one more for you. What type of products do you offer your students or people that are interested in learning from Amazon from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we pretty much, like at the AMC Formula, we offer anything and everything. Like our number one focus, our company's goal is to help people start or grow their online Amazon business. So whether it's programs, education, consulting, or investment opportunities where we build you a passive store, we offer it all, right? So a few things you could do like to tap in with us is, of course, it's official Joshua Crisp on Instagram, same website, www.officialjoshuacrisp.com. But if you want to learn more about the investment opportunity or the consulting or the programs, you can go to AMZ Together, like me and you, amztogether.com. Or if you just want to check out the number one program in the universe, the AMZ Formula, it's theamzformula.com.
Okay.
Perfect. We're going to make sure we include those links on the description if you're watching this from YouTube. Also, if you listening to this on iTunes, Stitcher as well, we're going to have that in the description in the show notes so you can tap in with Josh as well. Guys, if you liked this episode, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you drop a comment, okay, as well, too. Let us know what you thought about it. I mean, Josh dropped a lot of gems when it comes to Amazon. I know I learned a lot. Yeah, what y'all thought, man?
I agree.
My thinking right now is I spend so much money on Amazon. It's time for me to start making some of that money.
Exactly.
I mean, instead of being a consumer, you're ready to be a producer.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so again, wherever you're watching this, wherever you are listening, make sure you tap in with Josh. We're going to also have all the links in the show notes. Make sure we're going to have it also in the description if you watch this on YouTube, so you can tap in with him and get started with his programs, because like he said, most of y'all watching this, I'm sure you've ordered the Amazon package in the last 7 to 21 days.
Right.
Y'all too much.
So you might as well go ahead and start making money from it. So again, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. My name is Chris Bruce, aka Detroit Mogul.
Vic Gurley, MVP Vic.
Brian Keys, BK609.
We'll see y'all on the next one.
Let's get it.
Used to look for the rainy days to help wash my pain away. Now I don't make a payment late. New estate got my name on the gate. That's what my granny call amazing grace. Let me park the IA so I can take the race.